Let's begin with a simple question. Just how screwed are millennials? Let's start with the fact that millennials couldn't have possibly killed the economy. They weren't old enough. It's an airtight alibi. Americans in their 20s and 30s today face a very different economy than their parents did. Housing and healthcare costs have skyrocketed, income isn't even close to keeping pace with the cost of living, and among the most educated American generation in history, 1 out of 8 are crippled by student loan debt that prevents them from saving up for other things like new houses and cars, and those exclusive vinyl toys they only sell at Hot Topic and Target. Look at this meat clown! Sexy stuff, if you can't afford it, with the money that we made up. You know how money isn't real, and is actually just like, it's like paper we decided was valuable, right? Speaking of which, having a college degree is depressingly more important now than ever. On just about every metric of economic well-being, millennial college graduates outperform their peers, graduates earning an average of $17,500 more than those with a high school diploma. College grads are also significantly more likely to describe their current job as a stepping stone to a career. And sure, I guess it makes some sense that at least in some fields, people with better education are able to get higher paying jobs, and maybe that would be okay if the people at the bottom didn't literally starve, and maybe that would be especially okay if college and schooling was actually affordable, or please don't freak out right now, free. But of course, college costs are more than double what they were in the 1970s, even accounting for inflation. Boomers paid around $40,000 in today's money for a 4-year degree at a public university that would today run you about $90,000. And it's still climbing. Private schools are even starker, an average of $80,000 in 2021 in the 70s versus $210,000 today. So like some Seussian bear trap, a college education is both vital for every fucking job and somehow not actually worth it at the same time. All thanks to phenomenal student loans. And this is, at least in part, why millennials are the largest portion of the US workforce, but own just 5% of the nation's wealth. And this isn't just a case of not being in the workforce as long as older generations. For comparison, their parents had 4 times this percentage at the same age. Classical economics teaches us that a spike in productivity should benefit everyone in the economy. We make more things, we sell more things, we can afford more things, and thus, what it all comes down to, we buy more things. And that's genuinely how it used to work. But between 1979 and 2018, productivity jumped another 69.6%, and compensation grew by just 11.6%. In other words, we're working our asses off and inheriting very little in return. So, I don't know, maybe let us have our stupid green toast. Or also like some Seuss callback. Green toast and scam or something. I don't know, I'm not the monkey we captured to write those things. So to recap, you have to have a degree to get a well-paying job. But that degree will cost you so much more than it used to that you will spend a huge part of that income just paying it off. Luckily, wages have increased dramatically. Oh, whoops. Oh, the word is actually stagnated. Wages have stagnated. Undramatically. According to Pew Research, today's real average wage, if you include inflation, has about the same purchasing power that it did 40 years ago. Real average hourly earnings, again including inflation, actually peaked in January 1973, right around the same time as peasant blouses and Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And if you don't get those references, that's because this was a really long time ago. Back then, the average hourly wage was about $4.03 per hour in 73 money, which has a 2021 value of over $24, or $5 more than the actual 2021 average of about $19 an hour. But heck, that's not too bad, right? Except the average rent cost in 1970 was $108 per month, or about $783 today. So if we, for a second, all right, took both rent and wages from the 70s and applied them to today's inflation, a person working full-time in an average wage job would be able to pay their rent in just a week and have almost $200 to spare. In a month, they would have $3,000 post-rent to save or do whatever with. Buy disco balls or some junk. Because hey, did I mention that the 1970 rent estimate included utilities? Today, the average American pays on top of rent $240 to $400 a month just for utilities. And And so adding that to the mix, and the fact that your average 2021 rent is a little over $1,000, it means that after rent and utilities, you'd be left with more than $1,000 less to save than the 1970s version. $1,800 to be exact, which is before car and student loans and food and all the other stuff that has risen in cost in the last 50 years. In fact, since the average American spends about $1,000 in total bill payments, that brings it down to $800 a month for food, living, saving up, and buying cool some more news merch available now, like our slogan to anger my political enemies shirt, or our slogan to make my political allies like me mug. Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Here's the evergreen end plate to ask you to like and subscribe. It's any day of the year where you are.